At this point, it's so clear that Beth, Deshaun, Jed, and Kiefer are working together in this
And I
game.
can't even, by fucking chance, get them up.
So our best opportunity at this point, before all this happened, our best opportunity is to try to get Beth on the block with one of us. Because Beth on the block with one of us for sure keeps us here. Because then we have the oddballs voting. They make it especially clear to us that Beth is not going on the block, and the only opportunity for one of us to say if we come off is if you go on the block. They were the ones that planted it, not us.
I go up to Kiefer, I lay out everything for him. I say, I don't like throwing people's names under the bus, but here's where I see it from if I were you. If I were you, if you want me gone, you put up a pawn in Austin or Braden, you piss off Austin, Braden, and Rohan. I said, I tried to make it seem like I didn't know they were working together. I was like, you put up Jedson, you piss off Jedson, Tashawn, and Beth. I was like, you put up those three, and then I was like, if you put up Vic right now, like, you might piss off a couple people, but like it's not 3 people that you're pissing off. That was my whole fucking pitch.
Vic, this is exactly
True. This is swear.
This is the whole truth. And I went up there and I had the same conversation with him and I talked him through scenarios. I never ever wanted to go up there to Kiefer and toss names out unless he specifically asked. And so we walked through the different scenarios and we were backed into a corner and handcuffed because they led us to believe that you were the only option to go up.
Then why am I up there?
Because they want us to turn, so this is exactly what happened.
Because they wanted us to do that specifically so that they would
send me home.
They never intended.
Why wouldn't you guys tell me this?
Because it wouldn't make sense to tell you in the time because they wanted us to go up there and say your name because what they had always intended to put Austin on the block. They were always going to put Austin on the block, but what they want to do is they want to turn you against us by going to tell Kiefer to tell you that we said your name and we hard pitched you, which is false. We did not hard pitch you.
To every single person in this house, though. Tina, Tara.
Yes. Yes.
Bullshit. I would have never done that.
No. Tina, Tara didn't say your name. I'll be honest, we actually told Tina and Tara to I was like, if you guys want me to stay, I'm being told the only way I stay is if Vic goes on the block. That's what they took as, they didn't actually even go up to Kiefer.
They never intended to try to get you on the block.
They straight up told me no.
They wanted us to go and say that so that they would put Austin on the block always and they would send him home. But they wanted to do this so that they could pull you back to their side and turn you against us. But you have to understand, Vic, in this situation, my number 1 is on the block. My hands were tied. You are my number 2 in this game, but Kyle and I have been. We have been a thing since day 3. We've been a duo since day 3. You were always my number 2 in this game, but they handcuffed me and told me that the only way that Kyle stays this week is if my number 2 goes on the block. I had no choice but to go up there and talk through scenarios with Kiefer, but I did not go up to Kiefer and hard pitch you to go on the block. We talked through scenarios.
That's all I heard.
And Tina and Tara didn't ever say your name. I pitched it to him. I said, I'm being told the only way I stay.
They never did.
I said, the only way I stay, I'm being told, is if Vic goes on the block. So, if you guys want me to stay, that's, if Keeper's asking you for names, that's the name you have to stay if you want me to stay. And they said, no. We don't want to do that. So, straight up, they did tell me no.
They planned this from the beginning because this is what they do. These are the same people. Look, I know loyalty is big to you in this game, and I know it's
Dude, I was crying yesterday.
We were in tears yesterday over this situation because we hated to do that to you. Literally, we were in tears, and you can watch it back after this. We never wanted to do this to you. We know how big loyalty is to you in this game, and it's big to us as well, but they handcuffed us, and they made us. That was the only way to keep Stu in the game that we thought at the time. I've been his number 1 since day 3. We had no other option. That's what they made us do. And then they
it would have been better if we were just working together on it. We could have come up with a plan together. I could have pulled people in. We could have worked together to make this go down differently.
The thing is, Kiefer, I thought about that too.
Yeah.
And Kiefer, is so blinded by fitting in with the boys, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That, he wouldn't even, honestly, on eviction day, I know I'm going. I'm cool with that. But I actually want you guys to stick together and fucking take these pieces of shit out. Because I do know how important loyalty is to you. And yeah, I betrayed it, but at the end of the day, it was, what I was being told is it was me or you. And so I pitched it as softly as I could without
There was never any hard pitch. We never went in there and said pick. We talked through the options. It was as soft a pitch as possible. I know. Apparently,
I'm on an island. I don't have any allies. Less blood on your hands. Like apparently, it was like reason after reason. You, Bray and Austin all had the same pitch, same lines, same word for word.
They're telling you, Vic. That did not happen. We did not go up there and say all those things that nobody's gonna like. Vic is your best option because this, and this. We talked through scenarios at a very face value level.
Like you literally owe, like not that you owe me anything, but you're here because of me.
I know. And
I could have easily voted the other way and went with those guys. That's what any other person in this game would do.
I know, Vic. I owe you my life in this game. And let
I couldn't believe it.
I know, Vic, and I know it's going to take a lot for you to trust me again, and I know I have to prove that to you because I betrayed your trust and I betrayed your loyalty. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you anymore, but I will tell you this. Kyle is going home on Thursday. Your name will never, ever come out of my mouth again, and I promise you that on everything that I have because you are now my number one in this game, and I hope that you see that because if you believe what they're saying, they're very smooth talkers. These are the same people.
They're good at what they do.
These are the same people that came into your room and 4-on-1 you and started yelling at you. These are the same people that were talking shit about you while you could hear. I've never said one thing negative about you until my hands were tied because my number one was on the block and he was going home. You are now my number one in this game, and I really, really hope that I can make you see that. And I don't have anybody else.
Vic, I legit mean this. I went, like, when I was melaning all day yesterday, at one point I really did think you were going up against me and that you would go home. You do not know how close I was to going in the TR and leaving the game.
He was almost going to go
because I did not feel good.
Yeah. He was almost going to go to people and say, vote me out over Vic if Vic goes up. That's how shitty we felt about the situation. But our hands were tied. And I know it's going to take a lot for you to trust me again because you trusted me once and I betrayed the trust. I know that. But Vic,
I have zero to gain from telling you this. I'm going home.
If you jump right now to them because they're smooth talking you and they're trying to pin this on us when they were the original ones that tied our hands with this, then you were doing exactly what they want and you were playing into this game and they're going to steamroll their way to the end. They are very good at this game. I have to give respect where respect is due, and Kyle and Deshaun and Jed have played a very good game.
I do not respect Kiefer. I respect them.
They have played a very good game, and it's a known fact in here that Kyle and I are going for Jed and Deshaun, and Deshaun and Jed are going for Kyle and I. They took the first shot, and they're going to hit, and Kyle's going to go home on Thursday. But if you jump ship, it's not going to turn out well for you in the end because they will steamroll this.
So we're Bray Austin and all this.
On the exact same page.
Yeah, Braden and Austin. So basically, Kiefer, when he was talking to me, he was like, it's a dead heat right now between Vic and, before I even said anything, he told me there's a dead heat right now between Vic and Austin. So when Austin and Braden go up to Kiefer, it's a similar situation because Austin's not going to go up there and pitch herself. She can't. And Braden, in that situation, can't go pitch his number one in the game. So just swap the people out in different situations. It's the same argument because they think the only opportunity is what the boys are telling us and planting. But Austin can't go pitch herself and Braden can't pitch his number one. That's why it was the four of us. But none of us by any means went up there to hard pitch you and say that Vic needs to go. We don't want her in this game. That wasn't the scenario. It was my only option to save my number one, I thought at the time. And I know I betrayed your trust, but Vic, our best opportunity in this game, and I don't know what I can do to make you see it. I
wish you guys would have just fucking told me.
I know.
I didn't know, like, how to.
We didn't know how. We didn't know what the
situation was. I could tell you were a little bit pissed off yesterday.
We knew you were mad at us because obviously someone said something.
Yeah, someone did say something, and I was fucking shocked.
I know.
I couldn't believe my ears.
That's why I wanted to walk away from the living room situation because I was like, we're probably gonna have this talk later. I don't want to blow up.
I'm glad you walked away. I was probably gonna lose my mind.
It didn't serve you guys a benefit to argue at the POV ceremony because Vic, when you watch this back, you will see they have done all the things that we're saying right now. We're being 110 with you right now, and
I won't say I didn't pitch you because I did.
Yeah.
I just don't get why the fuck I'm not sitting on that block then.
Because
they want me home. Their whole goal was me home the whole time. Turn the six against each other.
That's why.
They don't know about the six though.
Oh God, they do.
But they can figure it out from the votes because I was the target. I was the target this week, right? Even though Kiefer wanted to maybe smoke screen it as a backdoor, I was the target. I was going home if I was sitting on the block at the end of the day. I won the veto, and they wanted him out. So you're not on the block because they never intended to get you on the block, but they tied our hands and said the only option that Kyle stays is if Vic is on the block. But they had never intended to try to get you on the block. They are running Kiefer's HOH right now. Kiefer is not running his own HOH. And they had always intended to put Austin on the block so that Kyle would go home. That was the whole plan. And then they wanted to turn you against us and say that we were the ones that were hard pitching you when they were the ones that brought it up. And then turn you against
why would
us
they
so
come
that
up
you
to
jump
me?
sides.
You saw my fucking face when they told me they were going to throw the veto.
And
I was in shock.
they did this in the event that you win HOH next week, that you will take the shot at me as opposed to them having to do it. That's why they did it.
I even looked at Ty. I looked at Ty and eyes, the manipulative eyes today, which I mean, it's Big Brother. I respect it. I don't respect it if it was real life. But I looked at him right before the veto ceremony and I said, hey man, I can see what's happening in this game. I respect the hell out of the gameplay. I don't take it personally. And he looked at me and went, it's not personal.
Kiefer told me the only reason he didn't put me on the block is because, hey babe.
Emotional check.
Aw, mama, you're so sweet.
Thanks.
Good, just getting filled in.
Yeah.
It is what it is. What can I say? It's a game.
Yeah.
I told her that I told you and Tina that my only chance to stay was against Vic, and you guys said no. You weren't going to throw any people under the bus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I have
Can we
to
just
say.
have 2 more minutes with
Of
it?
course,
Yeah.
honestly, I was
Yeah.
just coming to do a quick emotional
Thanks.
You're so
check.
Thanks,
sweet.
Doug. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm actually really proud of all of you guys. All did really good today.
But yeah, Kiefer said the only reason he didn't put me
They're
up
having
is
a
because
minute.
of how disloyal you guys were to me as outgoing HOH.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't think
bullshit.
that's
See,
true.
you're trying to turn it. The
It's
moment,
not.
the first conversation I had with
Yeah.
Kiefer, he said, the first thing he said to me, it was almost kind of obvious, but I couldn't believe it because if I tell him I believe it, then it's like it blows it up. You know what I mean? He's like, first thing he said to me was, oh man, the numbers, but the 6 are turning against each other. They're turning. You should hear what people are saying. Just to get in your
they came
fucking
to me.
grill.
Kiefer came to me in the conversation and he said, before nominations, before the original nominations, he came to me and said, everybody in this house, including you, had said my name.
Yeah.
For what?
To
Put me on
go
the
home.
block.
For the original nominations?
original.
To go
Oh,
home.
Jesus.
To go home.
Kiefer
told me.
came to me and he told me that everybody in this house except for Kyle.
Did not.
No, and we know that.
There you go.
I did not.
So that's what
He said
that's.
everybody
I
except
was gonna
Kyle.
be so loyal to the fucking oddballs, it makes me sick.
We were too.
Well, we were
It was,
too.
you know how frustrated it was when I got told the only person I could have a chance to stay against was the person who I literally. How many times have I said loyalty is her thing?
Well, exactly.
It's all her whole
Yeah,
thing.
I know. We know how big loyalty is to you. And
And I'm gonna go home because of it, and that's okay. I can sleep in my bed, but I don't want you to make the mistake of going with them.
they're right now what the boys are doing is they're playing a very good game. I'll admit it. I respect it. But they're utilizing Kiefer as a mouthpiece right now. They came to me and told me that everybody in this house, including you, wanted me on the block for the original nominations, which is obviously bullshit. I
That's
don't-
bullshit.
We
I
know
don't believe it for a
we
second.
don't even we
I
didn't
don't
even
believe
bring it
for a
up because
second.
we
Why
don't.
would
believe
people? Why?
And
Yeah.
the fall story that they're going to go with is that Kiefer did not put you on the block because we betrayed your loyalty, which is false. Which is true, but it's a false story. It's just
He
a cover-up
baited us
story.
into it, though.
They
Like,
baited us
baited.
into it for what they wanted to do, which was to bring you back to their side so you could win HOH and take me out. So that story is a cover story. It's not true.
Like the boys are doing really good. They're playing into Kiefer's like need to fit in, like need to like have someone. They're playing into